Our culture encourages us to become codependent. I really did believe that Jenny needed to do this, that, and the other for me to feel loved and feel satisfied. She started to figure out pretty quickly that Bob's list was going to be of complaints was going to be never ending. And if she continued to morph and change to make me happy, it was only going to be a matter of time until there was no Jenny left. I'll tell you that maybe the most common refrain that I see in therapy is this: I've made so many changes to make my marriage work. I don't even know who I am anymore. There's no me left.
Welcome to Marriage Rehab, the podcast where we help you break free from toxic patterns and rebuild relationships in a healthier, more authentic way. I'm the host, Dr. David Hawkins, director of the Marriage Recovery Center and the Emotional Abuse Institute. And today we're joined by friend, colleague, longtime associate, Dr. Bob Paul. We bump into each other every year by clockwork. Anyway, longtime marriage therapist, best-selling author, co-founder of the world-renowned Hope Restored, everybody's heard of it, marriage intensives, which we'll talk about through Focus on the Family. Bob has spent over 30 years. I think it's more than that, actually, but we'll go with 30. I think it's a fair bit more than that, but he could be lying about his age. We'll keep going. Bob has spent over 30 years helping couples strengthen emotional connection, rebuild broken trust, create Christ-centered intimacy in their marriages. So today we're going to look at, my goodness, we're going to unpack Christian marriages and what complicates what complicates marriages, Christian marriages also, and what to do about that. What happens when one partner is abusive? And so we're going to talk about emotional intimacy in marriage. We're going to talk about why couples drift apart, and what happens when, after accumulative hurts and harms and so on, they drift far apart. How do they reconnect? What does that reconnection process look like, and so on? All right, welcome. Thank you. I know you're busy, and I know this guy is busy, and to take your time to do this for us.
Hey, David, this is a pleasure. We've been friends for a long time, and I just appreciate you and your work. So to be on the air with you is a treat. So thank you for having me. I'll tell on myself a little bit.
Okay.
I believe the storyline when I got married and what our culture teaches, and to use a good psychobabble term, our culture encourages us to become codependent. And I was a card-carrying codependent. I really did believe that Jenny needed to do this, that, and the other for me to feel loved and feel satisfied. I believed it to the core of my being. And I had an encounter with God that really, really woke me up. He said, I was whining and complaining because she wasn't responding well. She was getting defensive, like you were saying, because of all the things that I was complaining to her about that I felt she needed to be doing to make me feel better. So I was whining to God about that and feeling so sorry for myself. And he did what he does with me frequently. He challenged me in a very powerful way. And he said, Bob, right now, who are you seeing as causing what's going on inside of you? And well, obviously, God, look at her. She did this. And,
Right.
I mean, it's like clear. How can you not see that? And then he said to me, so Bob, who do you see as holding the keys to the solution for you? And I pointed over her again. I said, well, look, if she would just.
This is clear.
Yeah, it's perfectly clear. And then he said, so Bob, who has all the power? And I said, obviously her. And this is where he got me. And how did she get it? And I paused and I went, ooh, I gave it to her. He said, Bob, I did not give you the power to give it away. I gave you the power to use it responsibly. And what I came to realize is that I was looking at Jenny as my source. I'd really turned her into an idol. I was thinking that if Jenny needed to do this, that, and the other for me to feel full and whole and satisfied, and it's not that I don't want to connect with her meaningfully, but God wants me to be empowered. He wants me to be responsible for connecting with him and looking to him as my source. And it's not that Jenny can't give richly to me and benefit me in many ways, and I can't give richly to her and benefit her in many ways. We can. That's a blessing. But Jenny is not my source, and I am not hers. God is my source, and I can look for fullness and fulfillment through my connection with him, and then share from my abundance with my wife and vice versa. And guys, and David, that was a game changer for me.
I love it. I love it.
When I got married, I believed that when we had conflict, the thing that I was responsible to do and that Jenny was responsible to do is when she did something I didn't like, my job for the sake of us and the marriage was to go to her and tell her what I didn't like and tell her what I wanted her to do differently. And I expected her to do that the same, and I would do that. And for some strange reason, David, she never enjoyed those conversations.
Right.
And you know, but I
understand why.
I thought that's what we need to do. Well, fortunately for me, I married a woman who had a very strong sense of self, and I thank God for that. It was a pain in the rear end at first until I got it, but she started to figure out pretty quickly that Bob's list was going to be of complaints was going to be never ending. And if she continued to morph and change to make me happy, it was only going to be a matter of time until there was no Jenny left. And I'll tell you that maybe the most common refrain that I see in therapy is this: you know, I've made so many changes to make my marriage work. I don't even know who I am anymore. There's no me left.
Oh my. Okay. Thank you so much. We've got to bring this to a close, but Bob, I love you. I love the work you're doing. Tell us, I mean, you're doing incredible work, by the way. I appreciate your humility, but this guy really does have a lot to offer, and Focus on the Family and Hope Restored. How can they reach you? How can they reach Hope Restored?
Well, you know, I'm so honored to be able to serve as an executive at Hope Restored and at Focus on the Family, because it's an amazing ministry. And, you know, for couples who are in crisis, you can go to hoperestored.com. If you want to get more information on what we do in marriage, you go to focusonthefamily.com, and you can pull down the marriage tab, and we've got books, and we've got videos, and we've got retreats and conferences. We come to people's churches if they want us to come. I mean, there's a whole. We've got mentor trainings called Marriage 911 for people who aren't therapists that want to help others who are struggling. We've got an amazing mentor program. So there's so much there, but focusonthefamily.com and hoperestored.com, and then 1-800, the letter A, family. I don't remember what the numbers are for that, but that's the phone number. You can talk to one of our consultants there for anything you're interested in. And our books, Robert Paul, you can find any of my books on Amazon and anywhere else you find your books, as well as on the Focus bookstore. So hate to be making personal plugs, but that stuff's available. We want to bless people with all the amazing things that we've been learning over the last 26 years.
All right, everyone. So you can hear the wisdom in this man and years of experience, godly wisdom. I love it. The truth really will set you free, everyone. It really is true. Anyway, if you would like support in your own healing and want to learn more about how we can help, please contact Hope Restored, Focus on the Family. We would also love to talk to you. Call our office at 206-219-0145 to get started, or you can visit us at marriagerecoverycenter.com to schedule a consultation with one of our client care specialists. And remember, you are not alone. We are all in this crazy journey, Bob, crazy journey together, but we're here to walk alongside you as you find your voice, rebuild your confidence, and create relationships grounded in truth. There you go. And emotional health. And okay, until next time, please take care and God bless everyone.